Approximately 4% of our total population is an ESTP. However, we tend to see that there are more men that are an ESTP than women. The ESTP tends to quickly gain information and retain it, especially when it has a practical application. So they like to have concrete, factual affirmations and information that is going to apply to the real world. And they want to be able to solve real world problems. They're a very spontaneous learner who are highly active, and they love competition, especially if you can include a wide variety of learning options. They like to be hands-on, and they need time to really manipulate information and to process the information both with their hands in a physical way as well as verbally. So the ESTP tends to be both responsive and active, and they like to address the question of, will this learning help me to act more effectively? They really want to be more effective in who they are, in their personality, and as an employer, an employee, and as a person just individually. There's some wonderful ways in which you can use some instructional activities and strategies for the ESTP, making sure that you have a very active learning environment that includes some aesthetics so that you're including as many of those senses as possible. You want to use some cause and effect because remember, they're really interested in knowing how they can be more effective. And a choice board is a wonderful way to really help this kind of learner because you're going to give them a wide variety of options. And I'll let you look up what a choice board is instead of explaining it here. They do enjoy having a close relationship with their instructor, and they love competition. They love competition with themselves and with others. So make sure that you include it as much as possible, as well as some creativity. A great thing to do with an ESTP is to make sure that you give them a lot of opportunity to work with others in groups, teams, partners, however you wish to do that. One of my favorite things to do with an ESTP is to maybe do a small group discussion and let them work some things out, and then a large group discussion. And by doing that, you're really able to open them up to a variety of options and a variety of information. They love experiential learning, and they desperately need feedback. So make sure as an instructor that you give them that kind of feedback because they really do value the relationship that they have with the teacher. And because they want to be very effective in who they are as an individual, they're going to look to an authority figure to really point out how the information and the knowledge can be used in an effective manner. They love that group information, especially as we talked about, but making sure that you use a group information or a group activity that includes both creativity and hands-on opportunities. Give them time to really manipulate materials and to work with them. They love fast-paced instruction. They're going to move very, very quickly. So you may want to even use some kind of speed learning. I love this. It's kind of like speed dating, but you can set up different centers and different places for a student to learn, or different places where they can manipulate an object, and you set a timer. They're going to manipulate an object as quickly as possible for 3 minutes. And they work with it, and then they pass it on, or they move to a new station or a new area, and then you've got 3 more minutes. So what you've done is you've exposed them to as much information as quickly as possible, and then you slow it down and say, okay, now you have 15 minutes to go back to look at whatever you would like to do. But they've had an opportunity now to interact with something quickly and really to peak that information and to make them want to interact more with some kind of piece of manipulative or whatever you're using. They love, obviously, that physical activity as well, and that's where something like that speed learning really helps. Look at how you can use some practical application. Remember, they're problem solvers because they want to be more effective. They are looking to be effective. They need to be effective. So make sure that you also notice that they love anything that's going to be innovative and creative and unstructured, but they're also a verbal learner. So they tend to be a little bit noisier. So make sure that you have opportunities for them to learn and interact in their learning environment where they get the opportunity to process aloud without disturbing somebody who may want to be a more quiet learner like your introverted learners. And provide them with plenty of visuals, things that are going to really grasp and catch the eye and really pull them into a learning experience.